If your enjoyment of any television series is not ruined by reading this text, call 1-800-OH-MY-GOD-WHY, 1-800-OH-MY-GOD-WHY for your free drawing of any character's body is horribly mutilated. We'll let you decide. Also, the plot isn't really that great. So basically, the story is just a good friend of mine who invited me to a screening of the new episode and watches the following clip, the pre-editing version, you could say. You can't fix this, you fucking moron! Rigby's face looks up at the camera, his eyes large and watering. So sorry, I was trying. Smack. Mordecai's fist slams into the side of his face. Rigby drops to the ground, a bloody tooth falling from his mouth as he tries to crawl away, terror all over his face. He's pulled back by the leg. A foot connects to his side hard. What the hell is wrong with you? Mordecai, no! Please stop! Ah! Fists on all sides of him. I eventually lose count of how much blood he lost on the ground. Eventually, a blue hand tightens around his neck, lifting him up. No, please, no! No, don't! No, no, no! A gargling attempts to communication, broken teeth were cut off as his face slammed into glass panel on the vent. He is pulled down and then slammed back in, again and again. Mordecai is screaming. Rigby is screaming. Pleas for mercy intertwined with the cries of unspeakable rage. The pipes are dented, covered in blood, teeth implanted into the metal. Rigby is thrown onto the ground. I can hear his leg breaking, his snout pushed in by all 5 inches. His eyes were blackened to the point of them actually breaking and forming all over themselves. At least one is. The other eye is dangling with the gore-filled hole what it used to be his mouth. I recognized him only his soaked blood tail. His facial features were so horribly beaten as to be unrecognizable. It seems like a long time before anyone speaks. Until then, the only sound was Rigby, attempting to wheeze with a throat full of blood. He gradually turns himself over, making horrible noises in the entire time. He attempts to put his eyeball back in, eventually putting it into an acceptable position of its stability. A horrible croaking noise came from his throat, vocal cords fruitlessly working, the body utilizing one of its least important systems at the moment of irreplaceable damage. When the word finally comes, it's a short and shot to the point. Why? Mordecai does not say anything for a long time. His back is turned, his arms are crossed, shivering. Why? He eventually says, still not facing Rigby. He turns onto his heels and stares into the eye, directly into his fucking eye. Neither of them were faring better than the other. The heating was destroyed. They will soon be frozen to death if it was not soon taken. Again, Mordecai lurches over to him and kicks him in the face. Why? He shrieks. I don't know how Quintel made that voice. I remembered the same thing when the first punch was thrown. The realistic sound of Rigby's teeth clattering the ground, the drip, drip, drip of blood dripping on the icy floor. I don't know if you realize this, but I never liked you, Rigby. He was crouched over him now, whispering in his ear. To be honest, I never minded your constant idiocy, like breaking the wall, for example. That was something that could go along with your other incidents, but then you thought it was fine to involve me in your little adventures. Did you think I would notice? I did, and I enjoyed not knowing that I knew. I could get my licks in occasionally. Whatever, it got too bad. I think it's just how I felt when I slammed your fist into your face. Remember Super Dig Brothers? Seeing you sprawled out against the side of the couch was so satisfying. His voice trails off, his arms slowly moving lower and lower. Ugh, he moans, taking a voice on a husky attribute as his hands begin to unconsciously massage his stomach. Your soft, furry little body, he says, licking his lips. It's almost funny how fast the hands depart as he slowly stroll around the room. I could exist happily, you being a pathetic little moron, and giving you a well-deserved beating occasionally. And I'm sorry to say, this is how it went for quite some time. You thinking that there was some kind of real friendship, like I ever even cared about you in the slightest. I can't see him, but I can hear him. Rigby whimpering as everything he ever knew was torn to shreds by the only person that could have truly known, but it just wasn't enough. I would thought of that like me as you grew older. Maybe you would have gotten more mature. However, you seem to have progressed in the opposite direction. Your little schemes have gotten more and more damaging, and I'm afraid this was the last proverbial straw. I will die in here, and so will you. I can imagine you throttling an eternity. Not like anyone's going to stop me, he chuckles. Rigby tries to speak. No, I won't die. You will. No! A kick to the face. Yes. No. Another kick. Yes. No. Another kick. Yes. No. It continues on for a fashion for how long I don't know. Kick, yes, no, kick, yes, no, kick, yes, no, kick, yes, no, kick. By this time, Rigby is curled up in a ball as Mordecai assaults him with his fists and feet. I can barely hear him whimpering, yes, yes, over the sounds of fleshly thwacks. What? Yes? What? Yes? A look of smug satisfaction slowly overcomes Mordecai's face. See, that's better. You never liked admitting things, he says, disdain filling his words. They are brutally shaking at this point. It won't be long now. You smash on the other panel with that drumstick. Might have been the best thing you've ever done. I can hear Rigby crying now. See, you know it's to be true. You can't hide it, he stammers as the cold overtakes him. I could see Rigby shaking too. He gets something out. It's going to be the last thing I do, but I'll kill you, Mordecai. Too late. Mordecai falls to the floor, a smile on his face. So, J. J.G. says, smiling, what did you think of the new episode? My mouth doesn't work, as if it forgotten how to function. Of course, of all times, I need it the most. I eventually find it, and after some stammering, I finally managed to get out. That was incredible. Really? He says, some mild surprise accompanying his face. I don't know you, some of you guys didn't like the top-up trash give it so much. You got pretty vocal with their opinions, you'd say. Yes, that often happens with the artists of your caliber, I reply. Did you have to dispose of any? No, just this one. She's still down in the cellar, he chuckles. Well, that's a lot for screening. Can't wait to see it in the air, he laughed. Yeah, neither can I. And that, my pretties, was I Can Fix This. A regular show, lost episode, creepypasta. My final thoughts on the story. I could definitely say that I remember watching Andal's narration of this story, way back, I think in 2017 or 18. And I did see a lot of people, a couple people review this story. And yeah, I decided to go ahead and, find the time to sit there and read this story. So, anyways, I personally do have to say that it's a really, really good story. But however, though, there are some things that I do have to make a mention of. Now, for one, the concept of it seems really believable. It's really well done, and I do have to say that it definitely flats out helps with the story. I mean, seeing Mordecai sitting there and doing that, like hitting Rigby and beating him up, obviously I can see that a being believable, I should say. I could see that as being believable. I personally do have to say that it definitely fits out with the story. It definitely helps out. So I definitely do have to say that this is pretty good in my opinion. This is actually not a really bad creepypasta. So I can definitely say it's an enjoyable story. Now, I do have to say this one was pretty interesting in my opinion. I thought it was really neat and well done. So I definitely do have to say that it's a really interesting pasta. I mean, it's believable, I can see. I mean, it's surprised that there's no blood or gore. There's just it's just really amazing. I'm just definitely going to say right now, this is definitely one story I personally really thought this was really enjoyable and well done. I personally found it to be pretty good. Like the grammar was good, but I did notice that there was a couple of punctuation errors in the story, and I did notice that there was a couple grammatical errors in the story, but this story has been around for a while, so I can definitely say it's an older one, but it definitely wasn't terrible. It's definitely not the worst pasta. It's definitely one of the better Lost episode ones I've seen. So, I personally do have to say it's a pretty good story. I personally enjoyed it. However, the grammar and the punctuation marks just need to be fixed up at certain parts, but it wasn't terrible, but I did notice some grammatical errors and punctuation marks that do need to be fixed up at certain parts. But I mean, there was places that should have been commas, but instead were replaced with periods or something. So that kind of made the story a bit hard to read at certain parts, but I still found it really enjoyable and well done. So, yeah. But I personally really thought it was a really enjoyable story. It's really good, it's well done. The concept of it seems really believable, and I personally really do enjoy this story. So, yeah, I guess with that being said, yeah, I don't know who the original author of this story is, so I'm gonna leave it as anonymous for now. If I ever do find out who the original author is, I'll be sure to give him or her proper credit. So, there's definitely that. So, anyways, I guess with that being said and that being the case, I'm gonna sit here and just say right now that this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with it, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these creepypastas. This is just simply my own personal thoughts. I'm gonna give this story a 8 out of 10. It's a really enjoyable story. I personally thought it was really neat and well done. It's got a great concept and stuff, which I really do enjoy. I personally found it to be really amazing and well done. So that's definitely something I can definitely say when I read this pasta. So it's a good one, and I do highly recommend you check this one out if you haven't. So, anyways, with that being the case, and with that being said, what did you guys personally think of this creepypasta? Did you all enjoy it? Did you all not? Also, what you have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Feel free to let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm Shadow the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you enjoy this channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. As always, if you want to go follow me on Blue Sky, follow me on Twitter, follow me on DeviantArt, as well as follow me on my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, as links to all those will be in the About page section, so you guys can go follow me on those. So, yeah. Anyways, I guess with that being said and that being the case, I'm gonna sit here and just say right now that it's a pretty amazing story. I did find this to be really enjoyable, so yeah. Anyways, with that being the case and with that being said, I'll be seeing you guys all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, roll the outro, because I'm out.
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.